You're under more scrutiny than ever, so landlord compliance is non-negotiable. Avoid costly mistakes, protect tenants, and safeguard your returns. Here's how to stay calm, covered, and compliant in 2025 with the help of a virtual assistant. You already know the basics, but 2025 raises the stakes, and landlord compliance is now a make-or-break part of your business. The rules haven't become simpler, and enforcement is sharper, which means small admin slips can snowball into significant costs. You can avoid most trouble by treating key dates as mission-critical. Safety certificates, deposit protection, and licensing renewals are not just admin chores. When you proactively meet rental regulations and maintain housing standards, you're not just ticking boxes. You're protecting your asset, your tenants, and your ability to regain possession if you ever need to. You don't want to learn the hard way how property fines work. Miss a gas safety check and your insurer can decline a claim. Your Section 21 route may be blocked, and local authorities can issue penalties. Let an electrical installation condition report lapse, and you could face enforcement and penalties that climb into the tens of thousands. Ignore selective licensing, and a single unlicensed let can bring civil penalties up to £30,000. Rent repayment orders, and public naming and shaming that dents your reputation. You can protect yourself by seeing landlord responsibilities as a daily discipline rather than a yearly chore. Deposit protection must be completed within 30 days with the prescribed information served correctly. Otherwise, you risk 1 to 3 times the deposit in penalties and the loss of a clean repossession path. Right-to-rent checks must be done properly, with repeat checks where required, or you could face escalating civil penalties per occupier. You will also want to factor in how legal obligations and insurance conditions intersect. Many policies require active compliance with safety checks, working smoke and carbon monoxide alarms, and proper record keeping. If you can't produce proof, a claim can be declined even if the incident is unrelated. Mortgage lenders and covenants often mirror similar conditions, so a single missed certificate can trigger a cascade: invalid insurance, technical mortgage breach, and regulatory action. You could think of tenant safety as the real North Star here, because when you prioritize it, the rest clicks into place. Gas and electrical safety, adequate fire doors where required, well-sited smoke and CO alarms, and decent upkeep are fundamentals that directly raise housing standards and reduce risk. If something goes wrong and you lack documentation, you carry the liability and the cost, not the contractor. You might find it helpful to think about some common pitfalls that trip up otherwise diligent landlords. These are why working with a virtual assistant regularly ensures everything is up to date. A gas certificate expires over a bank holiday and the renewal is delayed by a week. A tenant swap occurs, and the deposit reprotection and prescribed information step is overlooked. An EPC is allowed to lapse below minimum standards, or a council quietly extends a licensing scheme, and you fail to apply in time. Each looks small until the enforcement letter arrives. You can keep pace by systemizing compliance rather than relying on memory. A digital calendar with layered reminders, cloud storage for certificates, and a simple process map for move-ins and renewals can save you 4-figure costs later. Clear workflows make rental regulations feel manageable, and they help you brief contractors and agents with precision. You may decide the most efficient route is to outsource the admin-heavy parts to a virtual assistant just like me. They will track renewal dates, book inspections, file proofs, and audit landlord responsibilities against current legal obligations. And even answer tenant inquiries and schedule contractors for you. This gives you peace of mind and frees up your headspace. The VA fee is often dwarfed by the property fines, lost rent, or legal costs you avoid. Okay, so you'll probably appreciate real-life contrasts. One landlord missed a selective license by 2 months and paid £7,500 plus a rent repayment order. Another moved to a compliance-first process, renewed EICR and gas checks early, standardized right-to-rent onboarding, and saw fewer voids because tenants trusted the quality and speed of maintenance. The difference wasn't luck, it was system versus scramble. And remember the softer costs too. Non-compliance can freeze an eviction timeline just when you need to regain control. And disputes that should be simple become protracted when documents are missing or dates don't line up. Agents, insurers, lenders, and councils all move faster in your favor when your paperwork is immaculate. When you treat landlord compliance as a strategic edge, not an obstacle, you can combine clear processes, timely checks, solid record keeping, and, if it suits you, outsource your admin to a virtual assistant just like me. This approach protects your income, safeguards tenants, and lets you sleep better at night. In a more challenging enforcement climate, landlord compliance is the calm, repeatable habit that keeps your investments safe. I'd love to help you with that. If anything I've written in my blog post resonates with you, and you'd like to discover more of my thoughts about compliance should be a landlord's top priority, then do feel free to call me on 0743 287603 or connect with me on LinkedIn. And let's see how I can help you.